It's great to see you. If you want your camera on, that's
I'm glad
fantastic.
to see you too.
If
Thank
not,
you.
if we could start just by seeing where everybody's from. So Elena, you already told us, but tell us again, where are you from? Or,
I'm from Russia.
so are you are from Moscow and you are living in Moscow now?
Yes, I am in Moscow and I am from Moscow.
Okay.
Lourdes.
Lourdes, how about you?
Sure. It's a pleasure to be here with you, to join you from Mexico City. I was born in Mexico City, and I live here. Thank
Samara, where are you and where are you from?
I am in Brazil, in Americana, state of São Paulo.
Okay, great. So we'll move to Anna now. Anna?
I'm from Poland. I live in Poland and I'm from Poland.
Okay, where in Poland?
Białystok.
Okay.
Yes, on the east part, northeast part.
Great. And Eva, how about you?
Okay, so I come from Slovakia and I live in Slovakia.
And Tibor, how about you?
Basically the same story as Eva, because she's my colleague from the school.
Okay.
Okay.
Natalia, how about you?
I live in Moscow now, but I moved to Moscow in 2005 from Kazan, Tatar Republic.
Madeline?
I work with Jason, so we know each other from France.
Gabriel?
Hi.
I'll just my idea is sort of hand things over to you. Some people submitted questions and I sent them to you.
I got a few questions.
Yeah, you can match some names with some questions. Of course, you guys, you can also ask other questions.
Lovely.
Great.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Jace. Nice. Cool. Yeah, it's really good to meet everyone. Hi. I've been teaching since 2004, so about 16 years. Various contexts, like kids, teens, mostly adults in Istanbul, Moscow, and online, and sort of various little bits here and there, mostly in England, where I'm from. I did an MA in TESOL and Applied Linguistics in 2017. Well, I completed it in 2017. And since then, I've just been getting like more and more obsessed with teaching and teaching methodology and styles and research and stuff like that. And I also run a website. I don't know if anyone knows it. It's clarkandmiller.com. So I got a list of questions here. And just to make things simple, let's just go one by one from how I see you. So, Lourdes, you're the first image I've got. So, would you like to start? I don't think did you submit a question for Jason? Oh, your microphone's off.
Yes, I did. I sent a question related to a private student that I have. At present, I'm teaching to. Most of them are, it's open courses from the National University of Mexico. Okay. And I also teach private classes. Right now, everything is online, of course. And one of my students, I'm concerned because I have been having, I don't know, I would like some ideas about how to teach a disabled, retarded, let's say mentally retarded student. She is 21 years old and she has a syndrome called Apert, which consists of cranial, well, her skull has abnormalities, and she has hearing, speaking, and what else? And visual impairment. And it's kind of a big challenge for me. And I have been teaching her for more or less, let's say around 8 months. And I have seen improvement. And I have been doing a little bit of research related to this. And what I found very interesting is that there's a lot of hope, because according to the quality of her family environment, she is going to be directly, let's say, there will be improvements related to all these stimuli that she's going to receive. So I was wondering maybe if you or someone else in the group that could give me some advice or tips or techniques or something to continue being assertive and, well, to enlighten me a little bit with ideas.
Okay. Right. Specifically to teaching with somebody with APERT. Yeah. Okay. So it's a really specific question, and it's a good question to have because obviously it's never easy. We haven't, none of us, well, unless some of us have, but most people haven't, most teachers haven't been trained for dealing with this sort of situation. And walking into like a classroom or a private lesson with somebody with a condition like that can be like monumentally challenging. Having said that, I have not had that experience, and I have not had that training. So, and I was quite a little surprised, but I guess pleasantly surprised, because it's an important issue that I think 3 people have asked me, like, for this session about people with like learning difficulties or like various challenges like in that area. So I did have a quick look online. I got these questions today, so I haven't been able to give a proper research, and I'm sure you'll be able to enlighten me a bit more than I will you. I found a couple of links, largely for dealing with this sort of issue in classes, but we'll touch on those quickly first. So I'm just opening them up. Hang on, give me a second. Sorry, just going to get my document open. I saw a general description on the field from learnjam.com, and I'm going to share this in the chat. It's a link. So this is the first one. This doesn't offer any direct solutions, but it does sort of give you a general idea about the issues. And I think it recommends some reading for it. Another source I found for this was from cambridge.org. And it was Jade Blue. I don't know if anyone knows about Jade Blue. She does a lot of work with visual stuff. But this does offer some good solutions. Solutions for figuring out what kind of problems the learner has. And also solutions for inclusion. Again, this is for group classes. So how do you get your like class working together? How do you take advantage of somebody with a learning disability? Because, you know, they've got a lot to offer, and you can sort of utilize that, like that situation and create more dynamic classrooms. So that second link is good for that. I don't think these are actually offering what you're directly asking me. I hope they can be of help. But I get the impression like somebody else in this group might have had more experience in this area. Does anyone, I'd like to pass this over to anyone. Has anyone had any experience with learning disabilities?
Yes, I have some experience.
Okay, would you like to share it? Maybe you can help answer Lourdes's question a bit better than me.
Thank you.
Yeah, actually, I am visually impaired. I am completely blind. I see just light, and I have been teaching since 2018, and I have some students with dyslexia and autism, and it's a bit hard because they are seeing and I'm not. So, and they like pictures very much, and I think that it can help if your student has some learning disability to use pictures, images with songs, colors. But for visually impaired, it's a bit harder because you have to describe all images, and we are more listeners and speakers. And I think it has been a good experience for me and my students as well. I finished college this year in December. I'm studying ELT, and I love this area about inclusion. It's very interesting. I also have a Facebook page named Special Education Teacher, and where I share some free tips for teachers and students, and also parents.
Okay, cool. Thanks for sharing that, Samara. Thanks a lot. Yeah, it's a very difficult question, Lourdes, and
I know.
yeah, I think, like, I mean, I guess my best advice to find a specialist in this area, because it's a very specific area, and I can imagine that getting advice from inexperienced people like me could be more detrimental than helpful. All I can do is find stuff online, much as you can, and show it to you. But thanks for like bringing that to the table, because it's such an important issue.
I'm going to jump in here to say, Lourdes, I don't know if you saw, but there, Madeline, who has specialized in teaching students with disabilities, is making some comments there, and the great obviously want to move on.
Thank you very much.
Madeline, just 1 second. We want
Sorry,
to
Madeline, I missed this.
What's really great
no problem.
about getting people together here like this is that, like Gabriel said, it's not his specialty, but Samara and Madeline could, you could connect with them now, on Facebook, email, however you like, and
because our association is also about helping people with learning difficulties and other difficulties, other disabilities to get access and to communicate with one another, and also to help them like inclusion. Also, you see, help people have positive look on people with learning difficulties and disabilities, because I think it's also a problem because people are afraid because they don't know how to do. And in fact, it's not as difficult as it seems. So sometimes people, reject people with learning difficulties or disabilities, whereas it's not very difficult, in fact.
So I don't have any exact questions.
Okay.
Maybe I will have next time, because now I'm here. I wanted to hear the Australian variant of English first of all.
Oh,
and
but that's
like
not me.
Sometimes you describe such things. I never turned my attention. And as for me, I work with talented people, because I teach English at the State Institute of Theatre Arts.
Oh, cool.
And our students are really talented, but English is not the main subject, of course, because they have acting skills and singing, and speech and so on. But I just want to repeat that I like your site.
Oh, thank you.
As for the grammar, maybe next time, someday, one of the most difficult parts is gerund and infinitive. That's
okay.
Something. Is there any secret how to remember that group of verbs? How to present them to my students, because they also, special kind of people, but maybe on another way. They are talented.
Okay, I can share a link for that, because I did do a blog post on that.
Great.
Let me just give me a second. I'll just find it, and I will put that into the chat. Here we go. Sorry, everyone, just give me a second. Just spontaneous research.
While you're doing that, everybody can you see the chat? Do you see where you can open up the chat?
Yeah.
It's
I can see.
So, you can exchange emails there. You can chat with each other there while you're also listening. It's a great resource.
Okay. Cool. If everyone's got that, I've got two links actually, because it's a two-parter. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Should we move on? Samara, I think your question was quite similar to Lourdes's, right?
Yeah, actually, I have written two questions. One is about if you have ever worked with disabled or disabled teachers or students?
Mm-hmm.
I think not, because I don't think so. Sorry.
That's right.
Because you said that. And the second question was that I teach English online free and private face-to-face. But I would like to know how I can get paid teaching online.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's something I have got experience in, for sure. So there are a number of websites, and I don't know, Jason, what the deal is with sharing company information, like recommending companies.
Whatever you like. This is, I mean,
Yeah.
this is a private group, so
Okay, cool.
Whatever you want to do, yeah.
Okay, well, I've had some good experiences. There are various places that you can find work online, and this is probably quite good for everyone, because everyone could do with a few extra hours here and there, perhaps. I've had very good experience with this website, verbling.com. There is another site called italki, which works the same way, but I haven't used it, but I've heard some very good things about it. And both of these places, you set up your profile, you do a little video to promote yourself, you sell yourself. It's just an open marketplace, basically. And you can choose your rates as well. So you can give yourself low rates and bring some students in and then bring your rates up while you get better reviews. That's probably a good strategy. Or you could just try and just go for a high rate. It's up to you. You decide how you market yourself. So it is a good place to sort of find students. It's quite open, and it's just a little free market of teachers and students. And you can also teach your own language too, because there are always people looking for other languages than English as well. So I don't know about italki, but certainly for Verbling. Those are my top recommendations. I've had experience with various others, but these are probably the best ones.
Okay, thank you. I will check it.
Cool. Had you heard about them before?
No.
Okay, good, cool. So then this is new. Okay. Cool. Okay, let's move on. So who's next? Anna. Hi.
Oh, my first question is income. I can't feel when it is countable, when uncountable. I have read so many sentences from Oxford, Cambridge, but I can't grasp the difference.
Income.
Yes, as a countable, and where is it? Why are you laughing?
Because it's a very good question. It's starting to puzzle me already. Okay. Income.
So I've read so many sentences. I was trying to get to the core, but I can't. I don't feel it when, because a good dictionary shows it's both countable and uncountable. But when?
Okay. Well, as a teacher, I can't get this off the top of my head and give you a good answer. But what I can do is show, when you have questions like this, there are tools we can use that can get us closer to the answer. Sure, dictionaries are one step, but your dictionary tells you it's countable and uncountable, right? Okay,
and
so that's...
gives lots of sentences to illustrate, but doesn't give me the idea how to explain to my students. They haven't asked yet, but I have asked.
Okay, I mean, in my experience, the best way of figuring things out is with as many sentences and as much real examples, as many real examples as possible. Do you ever consult a corpus for this sort of question?
No.
Okay.
I've asked native speakers, and they told me I have an income of something, my income, but they couldn't explain.
Sure. I mean, my first instinct is that this is I can't feel incomes as a plural noun. It doesn't feel right to me. It feels uncountable to me. So,
Only?
Well, yeah, in my first instinct. I've just been talking, so I haven't given it much thought. But instinctively, you know, it's this native speaker instinct, for what that's worth.
Can you compare this word with money? Income, money, isn't the same group, no?
Well, I mean, lexically, yes, it's in the same lexical sort of area, but cool. Madeline's got countable and uncountable incomes. I mean, yeah, we just
So
let me.
I haven't found incomes, but I have found. I don't remember, but I have found there was a sentence income without the article and an income as well. So as a countable version.
Yeah. Okay. What I'm going to recommend here is this website. So, does everybody know like how a corpus works?
No.
Like,
can you tell me English?
A corpus is like, it's a great resource. When you have questions, I recommend this to my students a lot too. Like, if you have a question like this, like how is it used? Like anything in that area, you can access a corpus. And a corpus is basically billions, I think, billions of words from the internet or from books or from various sources. So you can go to this website, you can choose a corpus because there are different ones. You put in your words. So in your case, you could probably try a search for income. You can try a search for incomes. You can try a search for an income. And then you get thousands of lines of text of the word in context. In context. And
in context.
Yeah. So if you're having difficulty trying to figure out how to use that word, when is it countable, when is it uncountable, throw that information in there, become AI, become artificial intelligence, and just feed yourself full of data until you really understand how it works. And on that note, oh cool, what's Madeline written? Word hippo. What is the plural of income? Okay. Well, we got another link here, which could help answer your question more directly too. Yeah, but yeah, I can't give you anything off the top of my head because this is a fresh question for me. But this is a good tool to kind of deal with it. And cool, here was a big one. Also,
I will. I've got one more question. You liked it.
Anna, before your second question, just if people are wondering about the chat, if we can access it later, yes. So I will send you the chat by email. Okay.
Great.
So you don't, if you're worried that you won't be able to copy everything, you'll be able to get that later. Okay. We'll send that to you.
So
cool.
May I go on?
Yeah.
So when you want to teach present perfect, there are millions of exercises. But when you want to teach future in the past, there is few. Why?
This old chestnut. I don't know. That's a very good question. There's a sort of hierarchy of grammar that coursebook writers and exercise writers seem to feel is more important for whatever reasons they have. I don't know the answer to why there's more exercises in one thing than another.
Where can I find more online?
Right. Well, yes, you did. You've okay, so I've got a couple of suggestions. I found a few things. I mean, obviously I had a look, and like you probably did, I Googled future in the past exercises, and I found lots, but they were mostly sort of gap fill kind of things. They weren't very communicative. What did you say your teaching context was, Anna? Do you teach large groups, young people, old people, adults?
So I must tell you that I am a rotten spoiled teacher because I teach in secondary school, quite good students. So I must be prepared quite well, and I'm still learning. I love English. I am head over heels in love with English. So of course, I contacted you because you sent me your book. And I asked you, maybe you remember my email, I asked you if I could use it on Facebook. So you allowed me to use it in small groups. So your pictures are unbelievable, and you
Thanks
just
so much.
you are like you just use magic. Yes. The moment I see inversion or something, I have it. I have it in front of me. So because you wrote about yourself that what makes you go is what you wrote a sentence. What make English tick? Yes, you wrote a
Oh,
sentence like this.
what makes English tick?
Tick. Yes, you wrote.
Yeah.
This is your sentence, and
Yeah.
I like it so much.
Thanks.
So. Help me with future in the past,
Okay,
please.
future in the past. What I'm going to do, okay, so I'm going to give another link because I found, you're right, there isn't much out there. I found
Why? Yes, because it is important. So
I don't know why.
I thought he wouldn't come, but my students say I thought he won't come. Yes, and I must train them.
Okay, I mean, I think you're right that there should be more because it's just as common as present perfect. I think present perfect might be easier to teach, so therefore there's more of it. There's a link here for a couple of games that I found online that were quite good. But let me give you a quick sort of lesson outline because I was thinking about this and what I do with my students. Your students, like, they know how, like you demonstrated just now, they know how to use the future fine, right? Yes. So what I thought, it would be quite good if you gave them, if you could do it over a period of 2 days, or even better, like over a weekend. So on Friday, you give your students like a task, and it's a simple, easy one for them to do. What are you doing at the weekend? Write down 3 things you're doing, what's going to happen. They share it with each other. You know, you make it a big group thing. Really simple stuff. What are you planning to? What are you going to do? What will happen? You know, like go in for some will in order to get some like predictions, or try and play around with various future forms. You know, what are you planning to do? And just get them, you know, they think it's just like oh yeah, okay, this is easy, future exercise. Make sure everyone's really shared their answers and people have kind of connected with each other about their plans for the weekend and their predictions for the weekend. Then on Monday, confront them. It's not the right word, but it's dramatic, so why not? Confront them with their answers and say, remember these answers? What were they about? So now that feature is in the past. And now you've created a sort of natural context for them to use it. So even though there aren't any exercises, you are in a really good position to kind of just start teaching them that, because that's what they need at that moment, because you've created a situation where they need that language. And then on Monday, you're talking about the weekend, and people will be interested because they were talking to each other about it. Did their predictions come true? Did their plans get interrupted? And then you have things like, you know, I was going to do it, but I didn't, sort of thing. Hopefully, with the material that your students generated on Friday, you will have enough for your lesson on Monday. Okay. That's the best I could do. Apart from that, I can't put more of that stuff on the internet. There's just not enough of it. You're right.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks a lot. That was good. All right, Tibor, you're next on my line. Do you have any questions?
I haven't submitted any questions, but while people were asking, I was thinking that what problems I'm encountering in my classes, and I found out that there is one, actually. So if I may ask, I will go on.
Okay, of course.
We're trying to work with word formation as much as possible to gather new vocabulary during the lesson. Have you found any online kind of or sort of dictionary which will offer all the possibilities from one word root? To point out an example, verb to think, and all the, for example, adjectives, thinkable, unthinkable, etc., etc. You know what I mean?
Yes. So would it be called like a derivative? The derivatives of it, or something like that? That's a really good question, and no, I haven't. I haven't seen such a thing. That it might exist. Let's open that up to the group. Has anyone has anyone found anything like this online where you see all the sort of versions?
Possibilities.
Yeah.
Maybe I have found.
Mhm.
I just typed word families from Oxford or Cambridge Dictionary, and you can find word families. Try to, and you should have. It should go. You should have, because when you've got too many, students won't swallow. It must be tiny portions.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I'm just googling
Word families, Cambridge, something like that. There are editions, and I think you will like it.
Okay, are you referring to a sort of publication or a website?
Maybe I will try to find it and send you a link.
That would be so cool. Yeah,
Mhm.
thanks so much. Yeah, I mean, this is probably, I mean, this is valuable already because it's a sort of a good search term, like word family is what you're looking for.
Mhm.
Madeline's saying that lingui is good. Madeline, what does that do? Is that, you said it's not exactly this?
I mean, it's not really the roots. But it's very good because you have. I mean, I think everybody likes knows lingui. So, but it's very useful when you want to improve your vocabulary or use it in context. So that's why I usually advise to people.
Okay, this is a good one. So is that lingui.com?
I found the link, but I don't know where to open my chat. Help me, direct me.
Can you see a little speech bubble icon anywhere?
Reactions, more, leave, share screen, participants, stop video, mute.
That's everything except for chat. Let's have a look.
Yes.
Can you see this symbol?
Which one?
Well, I drew that really badly. It's a speech bubble. No.
I've got it at the bottom of my screen. So I've got mute, stop video, participants, share screen, reactions, more, maybe more. 3 dots, chat, yes.
You got it. Okay. Cool.
I got it.
Okay.
So I found the word families I've been talking about.
Fantastic. I hope that helps, Tibor.
Yeah, I'll have a look on all the ability that I was offered right now.
Okay.
Thank
you.
You.
Okay, yeah, cool. Good stuff. Okay, Eva. Is it Eva or Eva? Sorry, I missed your pronunciation at the beginning.
It's okay with Eva and even with Eva. I don't mind it. Okay, so I just want to say a big thank you for your web page. It's very interesting and I really find ideas for my everyday classes. So I just want to say a big thank you.
Well, and I want to thank everyone too. I'm getting lots of ideas myself. So, yeah, and thank you. Sorry, go on.
And there is only one thing, maybe I would appreciate if you could just maybe to go with the grammar to the upper level, maybe to go to the level B2, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. So what's the question exactly?
There is no question. There is only just something like, if you could do it, like if you could go higher with the level of English language.
What do you mean? If I could get
if you could add, for example, prepositions that are much more difficult than in, on, at, just to rise the level.
If I could, I mean, do you mean for me as a teacher, like how I would present it to students, or if I was learning English?
Yes.
Okay,
exactly as you are saying it right.
I still miss the question though. Like, are you asking like how I recommend people get up to a higher level from reading level?
No, there is no question. I am not asking. I'm just asking if you could, when you are preparing your web pages, for example, you are thinking about the preposition, if you could go to the higher level Like if you could move from basic English into something much more difficult.
I still didn't quite understand. Like, are you like? Is it?
I will write an email. Just
No, it's
Please.
very interesting, but
now
I
I just
agree.
want to speak. Thank you.
It's a little bit hard to understand what you mean when you say his website. You mean how he makes a decision about how to help people get from one level to another level, or maybe Tibor's an idea.
May I try?
Please.
Yes.
Um,
Help me.
I think what Eva was trying to say that your website works perfectly well for our, I won't say beginners, but for younger students. And
Okay.
the range of the students and the age and the ability is much higher than your site is offering. Your site is offering excellent service for medium students, you know what I mean? And what
Intermediate and
was
stuff.
she trying to say, that whether you could offer your excellent service to more advanced students and to higher classes as well.
Okay, I'm so sorry, Eva. Like I didn't realize you were referring to the website. I guess that's it. I missed the premise.
We finally
Right.
got to the point. So okay.
That's a really nice request. It's funny because sometimes I worry that our website's a little too high for a lot of people.
No, it's not too high.
Okay. Well, that's good. That means I can feel more free writing anything that comes out of my head. Okay, I will take that as a very good-hearted request. Thanks so much, and I will definitely think about providing some more advanced stuff. Thanks so much. Did you have any questions?
Yeah, actually, I would have a question because I struggle with phrasal verbs and also verbs and prepositions. So sometimes I don't really know how to help students remember all the phrasal verbs because I try to because there are so many of them, and so sometimes I tell them that they can deduce depending on the preposition. So because there are several meanings for preposition, but it's still a bit complicated. So would you have some advice for me?
Yeah, this is a really tough one because prepositions are famously tough, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, what I do with my students is I encourage them, if they're not like you say, like if they can't deduce the meaning themselves, I encourage them to look at them as one word. So give up isn't give and up, but it's give up, because I think that's how we conceive of it. Once we've learned the word, we don't consider it two little particles. We consider it one thing only when it's together. So yeah, beyond encouraging students to do that, and beyond any sort of advice you would normally give students in learning vocabulary, use it in context, try to find opportunities to use it. Phrasal verbs are a tough one. But yeah, conceiving of them, encouraging students to think of them as one thing, because I think I see a lot of students learning
so many of them.
Yeah, there's just so many of them, aren't there? But there's so many words in English.
Right.
But one thing I would advise against is definitely don't go through give phrasal verbs. Don't go through give up, give over, give in. Never learn those at the same time, because you'll just get really confused, and also you'll be learning ones that are not useful. You should learn the most commonly used ones first. Yeah, that's something else I would advise my students. One more thing with phrasal verbs is that, like you said, some of them you can figure out the meaning, and you do sometimes have phrasal verbs that have prepositions that are actually doing something, like a drink up, for example, which is like up has this sort of finishing effect. Yeah, cool. You're aware. Yeah, you're familiar with this. So yeah, some phrasal verbs you can figure it out because you have this up meaning finishing, or out meaning distributing, or off meaning away, or sometimes that happens. But yeah, conceive of them as one thing. They're just annoying and
May
every
I
te-
say something?
yes.
So, play a good Kahoot. There are ready-made Kahoots, or
Yeah.
just you can make your own.
Cool.
Start from
Yeah, I play that
10
all the
and
time.
then, so it helps a lot.
Yeah,
What's kaput?
Kahoot,
Kahoot.
Kahoot, yes.
Quizzes,
Haven't you?
online quizzes that you can play with your telephone. So young
Yeah.
people and even less young people like it. They love it usually.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's good advice, because I guess gamifying
Yeah.
Mhm.
is a good way of getting everyone to like do it more. But never underestimate communication. Like if the students can use it in context, in communicative like situations. I know sometimes it's really difficult to simulate these, especially when we're not in like English speaking countries and stuff. But yeah, that's one of our main jobs as teachers, is trying to simulate communicative situations for exactly that. Yeah.
Okay,
Difficult
thank
question,
you very
Madeline.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is Theodore with us?
I haven't gotten a response from.
Okay, no problem. We can move on to next one. I've got Natalia as next. Hello, Natalia.
Yeah, I have a question
Hi.
about articles. Nobody tells about articles. For my students, they are from 5 years old to 77, and the most difficult problem is article. And my students don't like to use it and always forget. And I have problem too. Because I remember that I have a headache, and this is a phrase, but it's difficult for me to understand if it is right or not. For example, I say it is milk, but then I want to say it is hot milk. Should I put a hot milk, or I only can say it is hot milk?
I guess it depends if you're referring to the substance or the cup of milk. But yeah,
I understand that a cup of milk, it is very easy. And in a plane, when we are asked a cup of tea or simply tea, I understand it. But we say that, for example, this is a book. Then we say this is a good book. But with uncountable nouns, should we say it the same? It is milk, it is a hot or cold milk. How should we say it? This is the question.
Okay, so I guess there are two sides to this. This specific question and how we teach this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this specific question, I think like they're all possible. Like it depends on how you think about it. You could say, would you like a tea? Meaning a cup of tea, but we say a tea.
No, so, I understand it. But
okay, and you're saying.
My question is, should I put an article before a hot milk? A hot.
Oh yes, milk. yes. Sorry. Okay, if that's the question, yeah, absolutely, that's correct. Article, Instead of hotter milk was the alternative, or
no, it is milk. But
it is milk. Okay.
We say it is a hot milk, or it is hot milk.
Well,
without article.
So what you're doing here, like when you have the article and when you don't have the article, you're making milk countable and making it uncountable, right?
Yeah.
When you say it's a hot milk, you're making it countable. And if you say it's hot milk, it becomes uncountable because you're not using an article and it's not plural.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question here is actually quite a good one, but it's like a meta question. Most like elementary course books and so on would say milk is always uncountable, you never use an article, but that's not true. We use articles, we make uncountable things countable all the time. The question is why, and we do that when we conceive of the object as a single thing or an abstract thing or an uncountable thing. So, for example, I don't know. Here's lemon soda. I'm drinking lemon soda, right? I can say, okay, this is lemon soda. It's good lemon soda. Or I can say this is a lemon soda. And as soon as I say this is a lemon soda, I'm thinking about this as like a glass of which I can also get another glass and have two, basically. Sorry, that was a bit fast, but did that make sense?
And this is the same with the ice cream? An ice cream?
Yep.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, ice cream is like just stuff, like you can have as much, or it can be a mountain of it, or it can be a pile. But an ice cream is, you think about something you can hold in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I see.
It's a conceptual thing. The good news about articles, I discovered this when I was doing my master's, is that the research on second language acquisition, the study of how people learn a second language, shows that articles are quite mysterious because they're kind of one of the very first things we learn when we study a language, but they're one of the very last things that we can master. It's very strange because they're relatively simple. The concept is relatively simple, but learners all the way up into like the end of advanced and even beyond still have problems with articles. And I think this is good news because it means that we can feel that what's happening to our students is perfectly normal and is part of this very mysterious long learning curve. Articles just take a long time for everybody. Yeah. Did that help? Did that help answer your question, Natalia?
Yes.
Cool.
I
Cool.
see.
I'm glad to help. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, everybody.
Cool.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.